whenever and wherever here's for you today. I'm glad you found this practice for when you just don't feel like doing very much. We've all had those days. Maybe it's the weather, maybe it's something in the world or something in your personal life. Maybe it's something you did or didn't do. Maybe it's that time of the month. Maybe it's that time of your life. But we all have a moment where we're feeling a little puny, and we just need something to get us into the next moment. So I gotcha with this restorative yoga practice. So you're going to need some props, or I'm going to recommend that you use some props. I have some blocks here, as well as the blanket. If you have a bolster and blocks or pillows off of your bed and some books, any of that will work. But you could also just lie down on your back. I have a tall block set up for my head, and then a smaller block. And I'm going to put my blanket over just because I like to be a little comfy here. Roll up one end by the head side so that there's a little bit more height. But also make sure that there's not too many wrinkles in there. So you want the smaller block to line up right with the middle of your shoulder blades, and the higher block to be right at the point where your skull meets your spine. I'm going to have 2 more blocks just because my hips are a little tight today. And then you're going to lie down so that, again, that smaller block is in between your shoulder blades. And then your head supported. Bring your feet together like a prayer. Knees open up like the pages of a book for this supine bound angle pose, Supta Baddha Konasana. And again, I'm putting blocks under each of my thighs just for that little extra support. And then take a moment to get rid of your physical fidgets. Make sure your legs are in a position that's comfortable for your low back and hips, and your arms are in a position that's comfortable for your neck and shoulders. Close your eyes if that's comfortable for you. And then let's set a group intention. May all of us together be protected. May all of us together be nourished. May we work together with great energy. May our study together be brilliant and effective. May we not hate or dispute with one another. May there be peace within us, peace all around us, peace to and from everything and everyone we encounter. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Deep open mouth sigh. Deep breath in through your nose. Deep sigh out. Take the deepest breath you've taken all day. Open your mouth and sigh it out. And then as you inhale through your nose and exhale through your nose, just scan your body. Notice how you feel. Every time you inhale, every time you exhale. Take a moment to check in with how you feel physically, mentally, emotionally, maybe even energetically, religiously, or spiritually. Part of the practice is distinguishing discomfort, unfamiliarity from pain. And so, obviously, if you're feeling something that's painful or the beginning of pain, you want to ease into a different variation. I'm just going to adjust myself a little bit so I have a little bit more support on my low back or on my lumbar spine. A little adjustment right at the base of my skull. And usually you know when you found the right configuration for your props because your body just kind of melts down. The muscle and the skin start melting away from the bones, and then you breathe into the bones. Notice the different bits of sensation. Our mind, bodies communicate through sensation. That's the information. That's the way that our bodies and minds tell the story of our experiences. Then the brain kicks in and starts telling a healing story. Healing stories are what Matthew Sanford, the founder of Mind Body Solutions, refers to as the stories that we tell ourselves and we tell each other in order to get through life. In Waking, a memoir of trauma and transcendence, Matthew Sanford wrote, "Healing stories guide us through good times and bad. They can be constructive and destructive and are often in need of change. They come together to create our own personal mythology that guide how we interpret our experience." I personally love stories and love storytelling. I love the concept of healing stories. They are personal. They can be religious and spiritual, like the ones that I've told over the last few weeks. But today I want you to focus on the information that goes into the story rather than creating the story. Don't think about why you feel a certain way or how you might feel a different way if you've done something different in the past. Just take a moment to be here and breathe here. Next time you inhale, rotate your knees up so your feet are flat on the floor. If you need to, you can use your hands to move your knees together. And just take a moment to be here. Take a moment to breathe here. Move your props out of the way, but not too far because you'll need them again. Prenatal variation is to roll to the left. Everyone else, you can roll over to your right. Maybe you keep your head elevated on the prop. Maybe you lower your head down to the ground. And then use the strength of your arms to press up to a comfortable seated position. Maybe staying up on top of a blanket if you have one or a block. If it's accessible to you to come into a kneeling pose like hero's pose, knees together, feet apart, sitting on the floor or a prop between your ankles, go ahead and do that. You could also take a thunderbolt, knees and feet the same distance apart, toes curled under, sitting on your heels or a prop between your heels, or even an auspicious pose, feet together behind you, knees apart, sitting on your soles or a prop between your soles. Either way, press down, lift up, relax your shoulders. You can bring your hands together at heart center or one hand at your heart, one hand at your belly. Close your eyes if that's comfortable for you, and bring your awareness to your goal, your desire, your reason for being on the mat today. And then bring your awareness to someone other than yourself, someone you'd like to energetically support as we move through this practice. You can bring your awareness to someone you've never met, someone you will never meet, someone who just needs a little extra energy. And And then offer up your efforts as a loving and compassionate dedication. Let's unify the breath. Exhale all your air out. Take the deepest breath you've taken all day. Open your mouth and sigh it out. And then breathe in through your nose and exhale through your nose. Fill up as you inhale. Empty out completely as you exhale. As you inhale, blink your eyes open. As you exhale, relax your arms down. So when I do a restorative practice, I like to have my props stay in the same place as much as possible. Just move around as little as possible. So we're just going to go ahead and come into a wide-legged child's pose. Turning to the point where you had your props elevated. You can adjust them if you need to. But either way, you're going to bring your big toes to touch behind you. Spread your knees as wide as you feel comfortable. Sink your hips to your heels. Forehead and nose come down to the props. And maybe you have your forearms resting on the floor. Maybe you tuck them underneath your props. If you have a lot of tension in your knees here, you can always put a rolled up towel or blanket between your thighs. Bring your knees a little closer together if that feels more comfortable. Or sit on top of a prop. And then once you feel comfortable, just take a moment to turn your head to the left and relax here. And release here. Breathe into any areas where you feel a little tightness, a little tension, a little of that puny feeling. Allow your body to relax and release as you rest and breathe. If you have your arms crossed, go ahead and change the cross of your arms and then turn your head to the right. lift your body up, just pressing the floor away from your body. Sit back for a moment. And then go ahead and shift around so that you can maybe sit on your blanket so that your hips are just a little higher than your heels. If you have a lot of tension in your hamstrings, you could always roll up a portion of the mat so that you have a little support there. And then bend your right knee out to the side so that the right foot is up against your left shin, your left knee, or your left inner thigh. Maybe you have that blanket in place so that that right hip is already supported, but you can also put a prop underneath that right thigh, put a block under that hip and thigh. Sit up nice and tall as you inhale. And then as you exhale, just lean forward. I'm going to stack up my props so that I can just rest my arms on there. And then let your body relax and release here. Noticing how this feels. Another option is to, instead of sitting on the blanket, or if you have an extra blanket, you could put it across your thighs, or you could even put the props across your thighs. And rest like this. Relax your neck and shoulders. And just let your breath flow in through your nose and out through your nose. Breathing into the sensation and letting your body relax a little bit more as you exhale. So inhale, push the floor away from your body so your body lifts up. And just take a moment to be here. Take a moment to breathe here. Stretch your right leg out as you inhale. And wiggle your toes, rotate your ankles, and then we'll just set up on the other side. Just bend your left knee out to the side so your left sole comes up against your right ankle, shin, knee, or thigh. Adjust your props as you like or as you need to. One hip might be a little tighter than the other, might need a little extra support. And then sitting up nice and tall as you inhale. Notice how this feels. And then as you exhale, lean forward and then support yourself, either putting the props under your blocks underneath your arms, putting a blanket across your thighs, or maybe putting your prop across your block across your thigh and letting your body relax here. Notice how your body responds to the inhale and reacts to the exhale. Notice how your body responds to being in this position for a while, relaxing and releasing. And just as I did on the other side, at some point I feel relaxed enough to adjust the props. And then get comfortable there. Press the floor away as you lift your body up on an inhale. Lean back a little bit as you like. And then after a couple of breaths, you can stretch that left leg out. Wiggle the toes, rotate the ankles around in one direction and then the other direction. And then go ahead and set up a mermaid stag where you have your props, your blanket on your right side. So I'm going to just fold the blanket over a little bit more. You could also put a prop underneath the blanket or stack that up a little higher. And then that's outside of your right thigh. Then you have your right foot up against your left inner thigh, left heel in that broken wing variation slightly outside of the left hip. Take a deep breath in, lifting your heart up. As you exhale, rotate your upper body to the right. Put a prop under your right hand. Left hand cups your right knee. And then prenatal variation is to stay here. Everyone else, as you exhale, lean over your props. Take a deep breath in, lengthen your spine, and then exhale. Let your body relax down here. Turn your head towards your left elbow. Or if you want a little extra twist, turn your head to the right elbow. And then letting your body relax here. And release here. Again, prenatal variation is to stay where you are. Everyone else, you have the option to bring that left knee up on top of the right. Lift your body up a little bit as you inhale, and then exhale, rotate a little bit more. This time turning your head to the right. Press the floor away to lift your body up as you inhale. Coming back to center. And again, just taking a moment to be here, taking a moment to breathe here. And you can just spin your body around so that your props will be on your left side. I'm going to move my props over to the left side. Set up that mermaid stag on the other side. So now the props are outside of your left hip, left sole up against your right inner thigh, right heel in that broken wing variation. Press down, lift up as you inhale. Exhale, rotate your upper body to the left. Left hand can come to that prop behind you. Right hand cupping your left knee. Prenatal variation is to stay here. Everyone else take a deep breath in, lift your heart up. And as you exhale, lower your body down. Maybe crossing your arms, letting your head turn to over that right shoulder, which is the softer experience. Or lift your head up as you inhale, turn your head to the left. As you exhale, lower your head down. And again, each side of your body is going to be a little different. Today is not the day that we talk about the story of why that is. Just take a moment to adjust as you need to so that you can relax here, release here, and rest here. Prenatal variation is to stay in that upright twist. Everyone else, you have the option as you inhale to bring your right knee over your left or closer. Lift your body up. Exhale, twist a little bit more, and then when you lower down, your gaze is going to be to the left, over that left shoulder. want to press down to lift your body up. Come back to center. And again, just take a moment to be here. Take a moment to breathe here. And getting ready for one more pose before our final relaxation pose. Just a little back bend here. In this case, I'm just going to slide my props down, that blanket. You could use a block here. And then lower down so that your sacrum's supported. Slide down a little bit, bend your knees so your feet are flat on the floor. Arms by your sides. And then once you find that place where you feel supported here, just stretch your legs out. So you don't want to be too high here. You want to feel that extension through the front of your hips and thighs. You want to do a star pose. You can stretch your arms overhead, stretching the fingertips out. Just counterbalancing all of that forward folding. So you exhale, bend your knees. Press down to lift your hips up so you can slide your props down or move them out of the way. For my purposes, I'm just going to slide that blanket down so that when I stretch out my legs for Shavasana, my thighs are supported. And then if you want to finish the practice in a pose other than Shavasana, do what you do. But otherwise, take a moment to get rid of your physical fidgets so your body can be still. And then fix your gaze on something that's not moving. You could gaze at your third eye. That space between your eyebrows, about an inch in your forehead, half an inch above there, or your heart center, or the tip of your nose. And allow your body to be supported. Bring awareness to the parts of your body that are touching the floor, touching the mat, touching a prop, even a chair. And allow yourself to be supported. Notice the belly rising as you inhale and falling as you exhale. And then also notice those pauses in between. Feel free to stay here as long as you'd like. If you'd like to be guided out of your relaxation pose, reawaken your body. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Deep open mouth sigh. Deep breath in through your nose. Deep sigh out. Gently rock your head side to side. Gently bring motion to your fingers and toes. Being mindful of the space around you and how things have changed, inhale your arms overhead and take a full body stretch. Reach through your fingers, reach through your toes. Bend your knees, walking your feet in towards your seat. As you inhale, lengthen through your low back. And then just take a moment to roll over to your left side. And again, take a moment to be here. Take a moment to breathe here. And then when you're ready, use the strength of your arms to come up to a comfortable seated position. Eyes closed if that's comfortable for you. Hands together at heart center. You're going to rub your palms together, create a little heat, a little energy, a little awareness. And then bring one hand to your heart, one hand to your belly, and soak up that heat, that energy, that awareness. You can take your hands to any other part of your being, any other part of your body that needs a little extra heat or energy or awareness. And then shake out your hands and we'll seal in the practice. You can bring your hands back together at heart center or switch which hand is at your heart, which hand is at your belly. The poet Dr. Maya Angelou once said, people will not remember what you said. People will not remember what you did. But people will remember how you made them feel. Take a moment to bring your awareness to how you've made yourself feel in this moment. And then honor what you've done, even if it feels like just a little bit. A little bit can make a big difference. You can bow your head down or lift your thumbs up to your third eye. And that's the practice. Thank you so much for sharing this time and sharing your practice. This is my 5th offering for the 12th annual Kiss My Asana yogathon. Please like, share, comment with kindness, and when you do, please leave me a 7-word comment. And I'll see you next time.